Assalamu alaikum everyone. So today we're going to be reading a book. We're reading Stories from Islamic History. Let's get started. Chapter 18. From darkness came light. Stephen, 100 years ago, the Islamic world was torn apart by Mongolian riders from Central Asia. Under their leader, Changa Khan, and his successor, hordes of the savage, ruthless horsemen overran and destroyed the magnificent Muslim cities of Bakhar, Shamar, and Merv and Nashapur. From folk years, the Mongols swept through the central states of Islamic, destroying everything that lay in their path. Once prosperously Muslim lands were plunged into abject poverty by the plundering and the massacres. The Islamic world could not content such a assault which had no parallel in history. The poor Muslims were helpless and could only pray to Allah for guidance. Yet, out of this miserable situation, great leaders emigrated, and their far-reaching influence are still remembered today. The new Mongolian empire was divided up into states under the authority of the elected Great Khan in Mongolia. In Turkens, a young man named Daimul Khan was the son of the state's ruler. Although he had not been crowned king, he was already ruling Darkutan. This young Khan loved to hunt. He did not allow anyone to enter the area which he had set aside for hunting. All the borders were closely guarded so that he and his young friends could enjoy their spot without hindrance. One day the Muslim Shakla Jamluda from the city of Bakham was traveling the way with a group of merchants. They did not know that they had stayed on to land that was protected for the ruler's spot until they were catched by the loyal guard. The young ruler ordered that the travelers' feet and hands be bound together and that the men should be brought to him. When they were standing before him, he shouted at them, "How dare you come onto my land?" The Shaka told him, "We were strangers here. We did not realize that we were traveling on protected land." "Where are you from?" the ruler asked. "We are Brashan," said the Shaka. The ruler snorted. "A dog is worth more than a brashow," the Shaka said. "Yes, we would be worth less than a dog if it were not for the fact that we know that true we have done." The ruler was puzzled by the Shaka's reply. While he was away hunting, he kept thinking about what he meant. When he returned from the hunt, he sent for the Shaka again. What did you mean about having something called din? He asked. The Shaika explained that he was a Muslim and he told the ruler all about Islam. Allah inspired the Shaika's words and the ruler's heart melted. The ruler asked the Shaika many questions about Islam and he realized that he was hearing the truth. However, he told the Shaika, if I embrace Islam now, I will not be able to guide my people to the straight path. Wait until I am king, then come back to see me. Shaika Jamuda returned home, but he became seriously ill. Just before he died, he called his son Rashuduna to him and said, do not forget to go to see Takulab Tamur. Soon he will be a great king. Give him my greetings and remind him of the promise he made me. Shakuda arrived at Takulab's military camp soon after he had been crowned king. He did not know how he get close enough to the king to pass on his father's message. The king was always protected by his guards. Then he had an idea. Shakuban decided to call the Adaban early the next morning. He crept as close as he could to the king's sleeping quarters, and the sound of the Aban woke up the king. He shouted angrily, whose voice is that? Who has dared to wake me up? The guards told the king. It was a Preston called out at the top of his voice. He said he was called the... Thanks for watching, guys. Assalamu alaikum.